Hi people, welcome to What's Popping. What's Popping focuses on the latest American pop news that piques your interest. If it's Saturday, December 14th, we have a new TV series called Dexter Original Sin on the horizon. We have an article today from Variety titled Dexter Original Sin is Guilty of Beating a Dead Horse TV Review. It's written by Alison Herman. Now let's get into it. It is seemingly not possible for Dexter as a franchise to move forward. In the final moments of the sequel series New Blood, which aired 8 years after the original series finale in 2013, Michael C. Hall's serial killer was fatally shot. This development on the surface marked the end of the road for one of the defining leads of the antihero movie, a role Hall had been playing for 15 years at the time. Sure, yet another follow-up, Resurrection, would pass the torch to Dexter's son, Harrison, played by Jack Alcott. But if network Showtime wanted to keep wringing drops from his blood-soaked Powell, the only direction left to go in was back. Incredibly, the prequel Dexter Original Sin tries to have it both ways. Not only does the 10-episode season, advanced screeners of which were not provided for critics, wind the clock back to 1991, when a 20-year-old Dexter, played by Patrick Gibson, graduates from the University of Miami and makes his way into the local police department as a paid intern. The show, created by original Dexter showrunner Clyde Phillips, also undoes the seeming finality of New Blood. As it turns out, Dexter survived, and the events of Original Sin are framed as memories he mulls over while on the operating table. Before introducing Gibson, the camera zooms in so the emergency room sign instead reads Emerge. The immediate, insurmountable problem with Original Sin is that the same superfans who form its target audience are already pretty familiar with its major events because Dexter itself was chock full of flashbacks. Christian Slater may be new to the part of Detective Harry Morgan, but it's long-established Dexter lore that Harry helped his adopted son channel his dark passenger to more debatably constructive ends by targeting other killers. Even the identity of his first victim, a nurse who preyed on her patients, is locked into the canon. There aren't many gaps left in Dexter's early life for Original Sin to fill in. Original Sin opts to steer into the skid, embracing repetition rather than putting in much effort to avoid it. Dexter's co-workers Batista, played by James Martinez, and Masuka, played by Alex Shimizu, are introduced exactly as they will in the first series, right down to the costumes. Batista is a gregarious mensch in a fedora, Masuka is a skeezy lech, and both are already installed at Miami Metro. While Maria LaGuardia, played by Christina Milian, at least gets a backstory as a new detective who's been publicly critical of the homicide department's disproportionate focus on white, well-off victims, she's not that far removed from the woman she'll be in 15 years. Gibson spends most of his premiere in a ridiculous wig of surfer curls. By the end, he's got Hall's haircut, and his inner monologue sounds suspiciously like his predecessor. Dexter may be a relative novice at 20 years old, but he already has his MO of wrapping his victims and their environs in plastic dialed in. His sister Deb, played by Molly Brown, is a bratty teenager, and there's a faint whiff of novelty to Original Sin as a demented family sitcom about a grieving family with some deadly secrets. Dexter's first kill, initiated by the nurse poisoning Harry when he's hospitalized after a heart attack, is intercut with Deb's high school volleyball game. But there's not enough to unseat the impression that Original Sin is just playing back the hits right down to a soundtrack of 90s touchstones like Ice Ice Baby. The show could have taken more time to get Dexter in the swing of things. Instead, he satisfies his bloodlust and lands the job in 45 minutes of screen time. Original Sin offers some new information via Harry, who gets his own garishly color-saturated timeline set in the 1970s. But the device just turns into an echo of the Dexter flashbacks and calls attention to how much the slight 90s timeline is in need of padding out. The fresh faces in Original Sin ensembles are themselves avatars of nostalgia. Sarah Michelle Gellar plays Dexter's new boss, while Patrick Dempsey appears as the mustachioed, helmet-haired police chief. Original Sin doesn't draw any new life from a piece of IP that's now old enough to vote. It does, however, represent the profit-chasing retrospection that's devouring culture from the inside out like a termite infestation. All that's left is a hollow structure to be blown away by the next Miami storm. The first episode of Dexter Original Sin is now streaming on Paramount Plus and will premiere on Showtime on December 15th at 10 p.m. ET, with remaining episodes streaming on Fridays and airing on Sundays. And that is all we've got for today's Juice. You have been listening to What's Popping. I hope you enjoyed today's show and see you tomorrow.